What is the best way for me to communicate to you that I accept you just the way you are and understand that you have a lot to offer?
I would say just approach me like you would any other person. I am more than just the wheelchair, more than just the ventilator and the mask and all the apparatuses that are on me. I am still a person, and though it may look intimidating, it's really not. I'm still just a human being.
Welcome to SBSK. Join me as I travel around the world and interview individuals living with a condition to prove no matter how you communicate or what obstacles you face, you're always deserving of love and acceptance. So without hesitation, let's meet today's friend.
Do you like my eye? Both? Or like all? What? Okay.
So Rachel literally helps you with everything.
I require help with just about everything. Whether it be going to the bathroom, getting dressed, transferring, just about everything. She's like an extension of my person. Whatever I can't do for me, she kind of does.
How would you describe your role in Priscilla's life?
Well, we spend a good deal of time together. I usually work like 10 to 12-hour days, depending on how I'm needed.
Do you have any muscular function left?
I am able to use my tongue to access the computer, and I use my foot to click. But apart from that, that is pretty much all the muscular function that I have.
Would you describe Priscilla as a client or as a friend?
As a friend, more like family, really.
The majority of the time, people will stare instead of asking questions or making a conversation. I think my appearance, makes a lot of people intimidated and afraid to approach me.
Why do you think that is?
People are somewhat afraid of what they don't know, what they don't understand.
Oh yeah, and then the vent, we'll have to turn it off, and in that point,
I'm like, I'll let
she's
it
not breathing, so then we kind of
go faster.
Yeah.
Though something may look different or might look scary or intimidating, in reality, it's just a person behind all that.
Do you confide in Rachel?
Yeah, I think so.
What type of things?
Well, it wouldn't really be confiding, would it? Caregiver is somebody that is there to support the other person with not just the physical needs, but emotionally as well.
Well, since our break, we have to be really careful with this leg. It doesn't bend as much as it used to. So she cannot dangle
That way.
her leg like she used to because the tendons don't stretch that far anymore. And when we get her up, usually we put a brace on it just to help it, but it's easier laying down.
kind of get used to having to rely on strangers. It's just kind of a part of life. But definitely gets easier once you get to know that person and it becomes just like second nature. And that's it.
And that is pretty much it.
Yep. Even though I can't walk or use my limbs the way that a typical person would, I can still achieve and reach everything that I put my mind to.
If you had to describe your daughter to the world, what would you say?
She's very special, and she's actually brilliant. One word, brilliant.
When I graduated high school, I went directly to UC Davis, and I studied women and gender studies with 2 minors. I have set goals for myself, and I have reached many of those goals, but I keep setting goals and aspirations, and I want to be the best version of me that I can be. This is Baby. She's about 7 years old, and she is my little companion. She goes just about wherever I go, and she's always with me. And yeah, she's my best friend. Whenever I'm in my wheelchair, she has to be sitting on my lap.
If somebody is meeting you for the first time, how do you prefer they greet you?
I prefer that they just come up, say hi, and start a conversation. If they have questions, I'm open to questions. I just like when people, start up a conversation, not abruptly like, oh, what happened, or what's wrong with her, but more like, hi. If you don't mind, I'm curious about this.
Now, do you hope they ask you about your disability, or would you prefer they ask you about you, your interests, your passions?
I would prefer that they ask me about me. And I know a lot of people, have curiosities, and I don't mind curiosities. I think that curiosity is good in a way. But I also think that it would be nice if people could see me on the disability and just ignore it. It's very intuitive. Whenever I'm not feeling well or sad or whatever, she's kind of always there. She kind of always knows when it's a good day or when it's a bad day. I don't really see myself as special or remarkable in any particular way. To me, I'm just me.
What is the biggest challenge you have seen your daughter face in her life?
Not wanting to be here anymore. She's tired. And that's just recent, in the last couple months.
Is there anything people can do to help alleviate some of that depression?
Not specifically. I think a lot of it is the individual has to work through it themselves, but it's very helpful and very important to have supportive people there around you that kind of understand what you're going through and let you go through it. It's not, to acknowledge that it's not always rainbows and butterflies all the time. that there are low points, and basically tell that person it's okay.
As a parent, the parent wants to hear that. Because I'm not done fighting. I'm ready to keep going with her. And I just want her to stay encouraged.
The best way for me to communicate that, just say, it's okay, I understand what you're going through, and if you need the talk, I'm here.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's basically what would be the most supportive, yeah.
Well, you have my email, and if you email me, I'll certainly respond.
Okay, awesome.
I try to let her understand that it's not just affecting her, because when I see her crash, I'm crashing with her.
Disability doesn't just affect the person that has it. It affects everybody that is in close proximity to that person. That is the one that has a disability, and it's not easy being a parent. To the person that has a disability, it's just all around. Everybody has their own struggles with it. I think I've become kind of shy around people. It stemmed from elementary school. And I was kind of bullied and ostracized a lot during my school years. So I think that has contributed to my adult person.
My biggest word that I use on her, and she doesn't like it, is encouraged. Stay encouraged. Stay encouraged. And so I know that gets on your nerve when I say that.
Yep. Yep.
Why don't you like the word encouraged?
It's really not that I don't like the word, it's just I don't like to be reminded all the time. I'm kind of in this space where I feel like it's important to stay encouraged, but it's also important to acknowledge what you're feeling, even if it's a bad feeling or whatever. I think it's important to acknowledge it and work through it, and sometimes you're not going to feel encouraged, and that's okay, as long as you remember to get out of it eventually.
Would it be correct to refer to what is on your nose as a ventilator?
This is the mask on the ventilator. The ventilator is behind me, but yeah, it's essentially the same thing.
Can you explain to me what the mask and ventilator do?
So the ventilator pushes air into my lungs, and then it'll pause and let me exhale. The mask is just a way of delivering the air to me, essentially. We're just very close. We always have been. Yeah.
We're actually peanut butter and jelly. We go together like that. We're stuck.
What is that red light that's on your face?
This is the light that controls the wheelchair. So basically, if I block the light with my tongue, it switches over to a different mode, so that way I can recline or put my legs up or change the speed of the wheelchair.
Do you take offense when people view you as inspirational?
I don't. I know there's some people with disabilities that do, but personally for me, I feel like wherever you can draw inspiration from, it's a good thing. I don't think inspiration is ever bad. So I use my tongue to go backwards and forward, side to side. And then if I want to switch over to a different mode, I will block the red light and switch it over. And then this is a recline, Oh, and it also has a elevator, so I'm able to go, the chair can go higher.
What are your interests and passions?
I like to read a lot. I paint. I use my tongue to do digital painting.
Which of your tattoos is the most meaningful to you?
I would say the one on my right leg, which is a rocker chick in a wheelchair. It says something in Spanish. It says, wings, why do I need them if I have wings to fly? Mom, Rachel, somebody, she wants to get a shot of this tattoo.
Which one?
The one in Spanish on my calf.
If you had one wish, what would it be?
Oh, it's hard because I have a couple. That society would become more open to differences, not just disability, but sexuality, gender differences, all kinds of differences. I think that would be my number one wish. I mean, that people would just become more open and loving and accepting to everybody else.
What would surprise people the most about you?
I think people would be surprised that I'm actually really funny. I make people laugh without even trying.
What was your other wish?
To meet Taylor Swift. I've been wanting that for many years.
If somebody out there is watching this video and wants to be your friend, do you want them to reach out? And if so, how should they do that?
Yeah, the more friends, the better. Reach out any way that is convenient for them, whether it's in person, maybe you see me wherever I'm at, or email, Facebook, social media. It's all good. Just strike up a conversation. And I am more than willing to start that friendship.
What is the one thing you hope people take away from this video?
I hope that people see that disability is not something to be pitied or to be scared of, that we're just people. We have the same feelings, same hopes, same dreams. We're just people. It's just maybe there might be parts of us that don't work, the same way that society says is typical, but when it comes down to it, we're all kind of the same.
Thanks for watching. If you appreciate what we're doing and want to see SBSK grow, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. This will help us reach even more people and make the world a better place. Thank you.